You know, sometimes I ask myself, why am I the way I am? Like, why is it that sometimes I don't feel that my intentions are always seen or no? And the word of God to me is that He is my maker and my bridegroom, and He sees my heart. And this was in Isaiah 54, verse 1 to 5, in the Message translation specifically. And that phrase, for your maker is your bridegroom, really stood out to me because it really made me see that when God sees your heart, you don't have to worry about being misunderstood. You don't have to worry about your intention not being known because He's the one that decodes every single intention in your heart. So your own is to just live for an audience of one. You know, when two people are together and they love each other very much, you'll know. The reason you'll know is because all they care about doing is making each other happy. All they care about doing is loving on each other. And that's how we are with God. That's how He is with us. That's why we're the bride of Christ. Because when all we care about doing is hearing, wow, my daughter, I love you so much, and I'm happy with you. I'm happy with you. I'm proud of you. It changes your perspective. That the assignment that God has given you do it. Because the only person that matters is the one that's marking the assignment. The only person that matters is the master. And so as a bride of Christ, you're thinking, okay, does this make God happy? Does this make God smile? You're living for an audience of one, just one. You don't ever have to worry about being misunderstood because God is always seeing your heart. God is always seeing your heart. And that's such a freeing thing for me to hear from God because I don't have to worry about being ostracized by Him because I accidentally sinned or I was burned. I don't know how to explain it, but I know that the message that God sees my heart is just too good for me to keep it to myself. So that's why I was like, let me just share this. God sees your heart. If there's anything that God has told you to do, and if there's anything that God has been prompting you to do, it just keeps coming back. You can't push it away. Know that the only person that you have to worry about pleasing is God, because He's your maker and He's your bridegroom. So He's the one that made your heart, and He's also the one that sees the intention. Okay? And then when you are interested in pleasing God and your heart is just tender towards God, God can work with you. God can bring people to help the work that He's doing in you. This is just an encouragement to anybody out there, anybody that's just thinking should I get started? Should I do it? Do it. Do it. Even if you have to take yourself out of negative spaces, do it. Okay? Because what God has put inside of you is just too good for you to keep it to yourself. It's too good for you to worry about whether anybody's gonna take it. It's not about the people. It's never been about the people. It's always about God. It's always about His heart. It's always about Him. And that's just kind of all I had to say today. It's such a pretty day. It's such a beautiful day. And I was just meditating, thinking about the word of God to me, that God sees my heart and I live for an audience of one. And that's what I'm gonna do from now on. That's what I'm doing from now on, living for an audience of one. When God has a word for me, and when God is like, okay, share this, I'm gonna share it. When God is like, go here, I'm gonna go there. You know? The only person that I have to think about pleasing, the only person I have to make happy, because one day I'm gonna hear, well done, good and faithful servant. And guess what? That day, everything would have been worth it.